It has caused headaches in Perry County for more than 3 years, but it is coming to a conclusion. Straight ahead, get an update on the Kentucky 15 project and some critical information you need to know before tomorrow.
An Eastern Kentucky chiropractor lost a battle with cancer at just 44. We spoke to family and coworkers about the impact he left on everyone.
Heavy rain will follow on an already saturated ground, leading to some high water issues overnight. I'll have the latest forecast. Mountain News at 5:30 starts now.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Flash flooding is still a possibility tonight as a cold front moves across the state. That will eventually lead to much nicer weather. Brandon Robinson joins us now with the very latest on what to expect. Brandon?
Yes, Steve, and we actually have one flash flood warning active right now. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar first, and we'll show you kind of where some of the trouble spots there are. This right now at this hour is looking up near Moorhead, I-64 Mountain Parkway corridor, a few moving into the Big Sandy and some down to the south and around the Kentucky-Virginia border. But here's our flash flood warning for parts of Rowan and Elliott counties until 7:45 tonight. Heavy rain just south of Moorhead there going over into Elliott County, so we're going to continue to watch that whole area, seeing lots of heavy rain. That flash flood watch continues for a lot of folks, basically the entire area. Ironically, Moorhead and Rowan County not under that flash flood watch, but again, just means to show you that there's just some guidance there. But it ends at different times throughout the night. The last one ends at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning for parts of East Tennessee. But again, I think most of the heavy rain flooding threat will be gone early in the morning tomorrow. Buffalo Mountain, some clouds up there here in Perry County. US 119, US 23 at Jenkins. Looks like a little bit of sunshine out there at times today, but it continues to rain in areas off and on. 81 still in Hazard. Everybody else in the 70s right now. Your headlines for tonight: we are going to see heavy rain likely in the overnight hours. Again, could lead to some high water issues. But after that, as Steve alluded to, we're seeing some cooler air and some sunshine come into play. Steve, it's almost going to feel like we're going back a season as we head into the parts of the rest of the week. I'll have the rest of that forecast coming up in a few minutes.
A nice change coming up, Brandon. Thank you. If you have driven through Hazard in the past 3 years, orange cones lining Kentucky 15 and traffic backups are a common sight. It is a project that is still months away from being completed, but one part should be finished by the end of the year. WYMT's Will Puckett has more.
It is a project that has created headaches.
We have long said that this is some short-term pain for what will be very long-term gain.
The Kentucky 15 widening and enhancement project is split into two parts.
The top of the hill around Papa John's, back through the Hal Rogers and Kentucky 80 intersection, down through Bonnyman and back up the hill,
is part one, and it will be completed, barring major setbacks, by the end of 2019.
From that spot past Morton Boulevard, past Combs Road, past Prairie Park Road up to the Hazard bypass
is stage 2 and should be completed next year.
But it's the same contractor that's doing both projects, so that makes it really easy for them to coordinate the work.
Tuesday, traffic will switch at the Morton Boulevard interchange, moving the project closer to completion.
Traffic from Morton Boulevard will access Kentucky 15 from what will be the future ramp when that turns into a grade separate interchange.
The intersection is District 10's busiest, and while the project is time consuming, officials believe the results will be worth it.
So it really is a big improvement. It will be something very beneficial for the people that use that road every day.
Just a few more headaches to suffer in the meantime. In Perry County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
There will also be a temporary closing tomorrow of the eastbound off-ramp from the Hal Rogers Parkway for 2 hours between 9 and 11 a.m. An Estill County woman is behind bars after police say she admitted to buying alcohol and drugs for minors as well as having sex with a teenager. Irvin police say 27-year-old Barbara Guerrer bought alcohol for 2 minors 3 times on July 12th. She also admitted to buying marijuana for minors on 5 separate occasions as well as having sex with a minor 5 times. She is now facing several charges. Gone too soon. A well-known chiropractor in the Big Sandy region died from colon cancer on Friday. WYMT's Lauren McCourt spoke with friends and family about the man that helped so many.
For years, Dr. Ryan Maynard helped thousands of patients.
So in this adjustment,
it's always what a good guy he was and what a great doctor and amazing chiropractor.
His kindness and professionalism caught the eyes of many.
when someone is like, oh, who knows a good chiropractor? It's always Ron Maynard, Ron Maynard, Ron Maynard.
And even inspired some.
Man, what if I get out here and people are just holding me to this standard that he said? I'm like, I hope I can reach that bar.
Just a few short months ago, though, Dr. Maynard had a problem of his own. He was diagnosed with colon cancer.
No one ever knew. He was just all the time smiles.
But that didn't stop him from doing what he loves.
It didn't matter what he was facing. He was determined to be here in this office and working on people because he cared about people that much.
Even until the last week of his life.
He continued doing everything he had done previously, right up until his passing.
If you knew Dr. Maynard for just a few months.
I don't have a lot to say about him, but what I do, know of him, and it's just good things.
Or several years.
There's always a bunch of teaching moments.
The impact he left will never be forgotten. In Floyd County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
The visitation for Dr. Maynard will be tonight and Tuesday, with the funeral on Wednesday at the Nelson Frazier Funeral Home. A Mount Sterling doctor is now on probation after he reportedly allowed his unlicensed wife to mishandle vaccines, causing an infection outbreak in 3 states. Dr. Paul McLaughlin's wife owns Location Vaccination. The company was hired during last year's flu season to administer vaccines across Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio. An investigation began back in February after patients began experiencing pain, swelling, and lumps at their injection sites. Dr. McLaughlin is maintaining his innocence. His attorney tells us his care has never been questioned in the past. The Kentucky Board of Licensure has placed McLaughlin on 5 years of probation. He also has to pay $5,000 fine and must attend ethics training. State transportation officials announced today the Department of Homeland Security is giving the state another extension to switch IDs to be compliant with the Real ID Act regulations. This is the last necessary extension. It allows people in Kentucky to use their current state driver's license to board flights. You can do this until the Real ID Act is enforced in October of 2020. President Trump is meeting with Pakistan's prime minister about ending the conflict in Afghanistan. The two leaders have had a rocky relationship. Today's visit is meant to smooth tensions and deal with complex problems facing both nations. The Trump administration wants Pakistan to use its leverage and influence with the Taliban to get a ceasefire in neighboring Afghanistan. Pakistan is hoping to secure more investment and trade, along with the restoration of the aid that President Trump cut. Meanwhile, tensions continue to escalate in the Persian Gulf between the U.S., Great Britain, and Iran over seized oil tankers, and now a new claim from Iran about spies for the CIA. Iran says it broke up a CIA spy ring, arresting 17 Iranians recruited to collect information about the country's nuclear and military sites. Officials claim some have already been sentenced to death. The U.S. says it's all a lie. As families prepare for a new school year, the cost of supplies can sometimes be a burden. Today, one church in Pikeville used its monthly community outreach to help carry some of the weight. The Pikeville Community Kitchen, held at Pikeville United Methodist Church, catered its community lunch to celebrate local students. Those in charge help give students supplies for the upcoming school year, including personal hygiene products and new shoes. They say it allowed them to give the kids a chance to have a hot meal and celebrate the beginning of a new school year. Senior Pastor Willard Knipp says it is both a blessing and a duty to be able to serve.
We have a responsibility, each of us, to care for our community in our own way as best we can.
They also raffled off door prizes for the students and gave them vouchers for haircuts. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, if you enjoy a few games of cornhole, this story will be for you. Hear about a league starting in the mountains.
We continue to track the possibility for some heavy rain tonight, and we're going to continue to track them into early morning hours as well. We also have a new tropical system to tell you about. All that coming up in just a few minutes.
A Floyd County man who dedicated his life to helping others died Saturday night. Coming up, I'm Marianne Fletcher, and I talked with his son, who says he lost more than just his father.